I'd be willing to bet you $1,000 that if you wore a suit for a week in public, that you'd receive compliments. Some of you guys would get a double take. You'd have random people you don't know show you more respect. And on top of all that, you would feel more confident. Now, without even knowing you, how can I be so confident about this? Because for over a decade, I've studied the effects of clothing on human behavior. Again and again, we see men that dress well, men that wear a suit, are treated better than men that don't, men that dress down. Now, the reason is simple. Most people have a cognitive bias that a well-dressed individual is of higher status. They're wealthier, they're more intelligent, they're more powerful. Now, is this 100% accurate? Of course not. But is it a reality of life? You betcha. You see, human beings use mental shortcuts to be able to make decisions quickly and efficiently. These shortcuts rely on surface information, our physical appearance, how we dress being one of the most influential. Understanding this, gentlemen, is why I make the claim, especially in today's day and age when most people are dressing down, that every man must own a suit that fits him well, looks good, and makes him feel like $1 million. Now, gents, all the looks, all the clothing you're seeing in today's video is brought to you by Suit Supply. Now, as many of you guys know, for over a decade, I have had a love affair with Suit Supply. Way before they became a sponsor, they had my credit card information because I was going in there and spend my own money on sports jackets, suits, shirts. When you go into their store, gents, let me warn you, you are going to fall in love. These guys have to be one of the best menswear stores on the planet because it doesn't matter if you're just getting into style, if you have been in the style for 20 years. You can walk into a Suit Supply and find looks, find inspiration, and find classic wardrobe pieces that are going to enhance your wardrobe. Now, over the years, I've tasted pretty much everything Suit Supply has to offer, from their custom clothing options, which are awesome, to their off-the-rack options, which are affordable. We're talking their perennial suit collection starting at $4.99. These are going to be the colors, these are going to be the fabrics that never go out of style. And gents, they've got stores all around the US. I'm going to list a whole bunch of locations right here. And if one isn't close to you, then make it a destination. It is worth the drive. And when it comes to quality, these guys punch above their price. I used to own a clothier. I know how to take apart clothing, look at all the details. Every time I look at the stitching, every time I look at the build, every time I touch the fabrics, I'm reminded at how good of a deal Suit Supply is. Gents, if you're looking to get your first suit, or you're like me, you're looking to get your 50th suit, go over to Suit Supply. You are going to be surprised, you're going to be impressed, and you are going to fall in love with their great selection. If you haven't already, make sure to head over to Suit Supply's website and check out their new collection. There are tons of amazing, beautiful suits. As you can see here, these guys know what they're doing. Explore classic and contemporary seasonal styles for every occasion. Expertly crafted from fine Italian fabrics. So gents, I'm linking to Suit Supply. Use the link in the description of today's video to get the best deal on the web. Highly recommended, one of my favorite companies, because when it comes to suits, when it comes to shirts, when it comes to outerwear, they've got the classic pieces that every man needs to have in his wardrobe. Gents, Suit Supply is where it's at. Again, I'm linking to him down in the description of today's video. Go check out that link. The best deal on the web. I've got it for you down here. Opportunity finds the well-dressed man. So you've probably heard the saying that opportunity is luck meeting preparation. Well, I'm not going to go so far as to say that wearing a suit one time is going to change your life, but I wouldn't be surprised if every time you wore a suit, opportunity found you. Because here's the thing, every single interaction you have with another person, every time you're mixing in with a crowd, every time you walk past a beautiful woman, there is an opportunity there. Now, whether or not a person decides to engage with another person often depends on what they see, the visual cues they're given. So when you look the part of a success, when you come off as more attractive, when you're sending a signal, wearing clothing that accentuates your build to show that you take care of yourself, don't be surprised, gentlemen, when opportunity starts to fall into your lap. In a casual world, a man in a suit stands out. Now, a lot of guys out there are saying, well, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. Well, first up, when the suit fits and it's made from a quality material, it can be incredibly comfortable. But before we get into that, are you sure you're a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy? Or is that a style your mom chose for you when you were 8 and you stuck with it? My point is, I think your clothing should reflect who you are and who you aspire to be. So that best version of yourself that you are working hard to become in the next few years, what does he dress like? And doesn't he have the courage to dress in a way that he stands out from the crowd? A suit can be the most versatile piece of clothing in your wardrobe. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking, come on, suits, they're boring, and I don't need to ever get dressed up. Now, we'll address that latter point here in a few minutes, but let me address that misconception that suits are only formal wear. Gents, of course, you can dress up a suit, but you can also dress down a suit. In fact, if you go with a neutral color like gray here, look at the different shirts, look at the different sweaters, the different combinations that you can put together with just a few pieces of clothing. Look at this combination right here. I'm just wearing the jacket with a pair of jeans, this turtleneck sweater. This is a great fall and winter look. A well-tailored suit levels up performance. Now, if you're still on the fence about wearing a suit because you're like, Antonio, my job doesn't require it. Well, what does your job require? That you are working at a high level if you want to get a promotion? Or if you're running your own company, you probably know the saying, you eat what you kill, right? Well, here's the deal. You ever hear of enclothed cognition? This is a new field of study emerged about 20 years ago, and it's where researchers were able to replicate and show again and again when people dressed a certain way, they performed at a higher level. Now, the classic study was with doctor jackets, which when they thought they were wearing a doctor jacket, they would score higher on exams versus a painter's smock. But there was a recent study out of the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology that demonstrated that when participants wore formal clothing, aka a suit, they actually exhibited higher cognitive ability. They also negotiated better. And as you guys know, negotiations, one of the most important things that can make or break a business. It can mean the difference between you losing a $5 million deal or closing that $5 million deal. And when you do close that $5 million deal, make sure to send me a commission check. I'll put my address right down there in the description of today's video.
I am the one, the way your son don't need.
But seriously, gents, why not increase your odds? Why not dress the part and increase your likelihood of success? Your suit is a style conduit. Now, this next one came to me the other day when I was watching that new series, He-Man. Have you seen it? I know it's a cartoon, but hey, I'm a kid of the 80s. I grew up watching that stuff, so it was cool to see them actually pick up where they left off. In any case, and sorry to ruin it for you, but He-Man was able to transform without his sword. And he made a point of explaining that the sword, yeah, that's nothing more than a conduit.
See, the sword is just the conduit.
Which also reminded me of Thor in the movie Ragnarok when he loses Jonathan. Again, later in the movie, we have Odin remind Thor that the hammer was nothing more than a conduit of his power. My point, gentlemen, is that when you wear a suit, this is like your style conduit. You see, I believe you're a great guy. If you're watching my videos, you are all about self-improvement and looking your best. And when you put on a suit, this is a conduit that brings it all together. A well-fitted suit makes you look good, especially if you spend some time in the gym. It builds up the shoulders, slims up the silhouette, makes your hands look larger. Overall, gives you a more masculine silhouette. Your suit, in a way, unlocks your potential. It allows you to more clearly display your confidence, your competence, your power. Now, if you can't tell, I'm enjoying myself in today's video, and I do have to warn you that if you use this information, you are at risk of getting too many compliments. Seriously, I was at a conference the other day in Dallas. Everyone else is dressed down. I'm dressed up, looking good, and I got so many compliments. It was almost distracting. I just had to power through it. But seriously, I mean, you get so many people throwing this at you. I would joke and say, you know, if I dressed down, you wouldn't believe what I do for a living. And that takes me to my next point. People treat a man in a suit better. Now, despite what the pop culture may try to tell you, the world is not fair. And I think most of us have figured it out. But with suits, man, it is a shortcut to immediately getting treated with more respect. An example of this, when I'm in a group with 3 other guys, we're talking, and somebody else comes up at a conference. What I find, again, because I am the guy wearing a sports jacket or suit, I am looked to as the guy in charge, the authority. Now, it probably also helps I've got good manners and I quickly introduce myself, introduce other people. But this simple display of good manners and dressing well, instantly in this person's mind who I just met, well, they put me up as an authority. They put me up as this higher status individual. A suit as a signature look helps you become memorable. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, names are hard to remember. The reason for that is most Western names are arbitrary. Versus characteristics or interesting facts about that person's life, those things for me seem a lot easier to remember. But have you ever noticed how you rarely forget a face? Think about that for a second. I mean, most faces are pretty much the same, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. Yet visually, we're able to remember all of these small details that allow us to differentiate between thousands of people we meet over a lifetime. But guess what? It doesn't just stop at the face. You're also in many ways going to remember the way the person presents themselves. And whether it's good or bad, you're going to associate that feeling with them in your memory of them. So why not associate yourself with a look that is going to be remembered in a good way, like with a suit? A well-fitted suit is not uncomfortable, it's just unfamiliar. All right, Jen, so I know the ultimate red flag to a lot of guys is why they don't wear a suit on a daily basis. They think it's uncomfortable. Well, gents, here's a straight up fact. If the suit is cut well, if it fits your body well, it's not uncomfortable, you're just unfamiliar with the way it feels on your body. And like any good habit that you change up, like going to the gym, initially it feels odd wearing something like this. But after a few wearings, all of a sudden you start to get used to it. You start to become acclimated to looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, damn, I look good. And let's face it, you don't have to wear a necktie, although when you do, you are going to stand out from the crowd, but you can put together a casual ensemble. As you see in most of my videos, I'm wearing a collared shirt without a necktie. The fact of the matter is, gents, the act of wearing a structured jacket can become a habit in a matter of weeks by simply implementing a few changes in your wardrobe. A classic suit never goes out of style. So what about money? So first up, athleisure, streetwear. That stuff is expensive. And those graphic tees go out of style fast, and fast fashion pieces fall apart after a few washes. Classic, timeless menswear, guys, it isn't going anywhere. In fact, the classic suit jacket has been around for over 150 years. And the way fabrics are made, and if you take care of it, you're gonna be able to wear that suit for 20 years. In fact, the only issue may be your waist and you outgrowing it. It doesn't matter what your body looks like. In a suit, you'll look better. Straight up, gents, if you're tall and lanky, if you are short and stout, if you've got a big belly or you got crooked shoulders, gents, a suit jacket is the great equalizer. The garment was specifically designed to drape on the body to help a man look better. So if you're in shape, a well-fitted suit will show that off. If you're out of shape, a well-fitted suit is going to make you look taller, leaner, more masculine. Straight up, gents, a suit is perhaps the most sophisticated, strongest, sexiest thing a man can wear. And with that being said, gents, how to suit up. I got you covered in this video. If you are ready to suit up, you want to know exactly how a suit should fit, how to put it together, everything you need for a great looking suit, boom, I got you covered with this video right here. Oh yeah, continue the viewing experience. Come on, got you right here. Go check it out. Solid video, everything you need to suit up. Yeah, right there.